My name is David Whelan and I have a fighter's heart. What it means to me to have a fighter's heart is just keep going, just keep moving. The times are going to be challenging and just keep pushing forward and show up day by day and, do the work for today. Show up and do what you can do. My fighter's heart story starts in March of 2012. I was in a work accident, had my foot crushed by a piece of equipment, and then I was subsequently diagnosed with the worst chronic pain condition known in medical science. Lasted for about 7.5 years. It's called complex regional pain syndrome. I had multiple surgeries trying to save my foot. Every time I had a surgery done, my nerve condition spread higher and higher and higher. For about 7.5 years, it felt like I was being lit on fire and stabbed repeatedly, and anything more than a light breeze or top sheet of a bed just felt like it was sandpaper ripping off hot skin. It was incredibly painful. 7.5 years of that was challenging. I decided to hit the reset button, or what I thought was the reset button, by amputating in 2018. I found a surgeon who said that I had really good odds of beating my CRPS if I amputated. So decided to move forward with it, and it turned into all hell. The condition spread all the way up my leg, into my left hand, my left forearm, bicep, into my stomach. I wasn't able to go to the dentist without getting the okay from my surgeon because I worried about the condition spreading into my brain, or into my face rather. So yeah, I went about 2 years without a left foot. I used a crutch system called an iWalk as my leg for 2 years, and realized that I needed to start kind of taking my life back a little bit. I fell into really deep, dark depression that was incredibly challenging for me. I jumped up to 232 pounds, and I had multiple suicide attempts, and I needed to start showing up. So I started going to the gym with my iWalk, and I started doing what I could, competing in regional CrossFit competitions, showing up and doing parts of triathlons, and just doing what I could do, and really just trying to take my life back, and understanding that I couldn't control my pain, but I control my relationship with my pain, and what I was telling myself with it, and just, my inner dialogue towards it. I remember waking up after I tried committing suicide the first time. I took a handful of pills and I prayed to not wake up the next morning. And I was very fortunate that I had woken up, and I realized that I couldn't keep going on like this, that I needed a change, right? Like I needed to start taking my life back because it wasn't sustainable, right? So I really needed to start trying and start showing up and fighting for my life, because I quite literally was. You could have a victim mentality and you can feed that, or you can decide to do something different and start taking your life back. So I decided to start taking my life back. From there, I competed in a competition called Spartan Races. It was the World Paris Spartan in Laughlin, Nevada. From there, I heard about a surgeon in Oklahoma who had a lot of success with surgeries like mine. So after the Spartan race, I decided to fly out to Oklahoma to meet with the surgeon. The surgeon told me I had the worst chronic pain condition that he'd ever seen, but he thought that he could help me. Doctors were already saying that they're sorry and encouraging me to seek long-term medical care. So I figured, why not double down and, kind of put my dream of running and being pain-free ahead of everything, and roll the dice and see what was going to happen. So I flew home, I changed my insurance, got all that done, ended up flying back there March 12th of 2020. I had my surgery done. They completely reconstructed the distal end of my residual limb, shaped it like an A-frame, and they did a surgery called targeted muscle reinnervation. And then COVID hit, right? So I'm from Los Angeles. COVID shut down Los Angeles about March 18th. I had a 7.5 hour surgery that I was recovering from. The floor that I was on in Oklahoma turned into a COVID unit. My doctor said that I had to get out of there because I had a compromised immune system after a long surgery. So I had to go home and recover by myself after I think it was 6 days after the surgery. So I flew home with my girlfriend, recovered for about 3 months in absolutely horrible pain. PT centers were closed, and I started understanding that if I wanted to walk, I was going to have to teach myself how to walk again. I took my wheelchair outside every day for months, sitting on the sidewalk, watching people walk and trying to live in those moments and understand what that heel strike felt like and what it felt like to push off with the toes, and really trying to remember that, and, really trying to meditate on that a little bit. Finally, July 3rd of 2020, I took my first steps. After a couple of years of not having a left foot, and 7.5 years of not walking properly. That following November, I finally was able to run. My dream, I amputated my foot for the dream of running again, and I told myself I was going to be in relentless pursuit of what sets my soul on fire. And I fought like hell for it. And now I'm very fortunate to be a para-triathlete and competing. So that's my story. What is my best piece of advice for someone that gets in an accident or has a hard challenge that they face? Keep pushing forward. I would encourage you to allow yourself to feel what you are feeling and digest what you are feeling. Go through the emotions. Be mad, be angry, be sad, be frustrated. Go through all of that. That's incredibly healthy. But it's not healthy to stay there. It's very, very important to develop a why and use that as fuel to keep moving forward. Show up, do what you can, give yourself grace. The road's not going to be as easy or as short as you would like it to be. There's a lot of power in those lessons. Meditate on that and just be where you're at, and understand you're at where you're at for a reason. What lessons can we take away from that? And just be there and just keep showing up.